French democratic movement is at war with itself. What started as a quiet disagreement with one of the Kenya's most powerful opposition party has now erupted into a full-blown political battle, playing out on the streets, in rallies, and in press conferences across the country. At the center of this storm is the Linda Mwananchi movement, a faction of ODM members who say their party has been hijacked and handed over to their enemies. The Linda Mwananchi movement emerged from deep friction within ODM ranks. The trigger was the party's decision through its Central Management Committee to allow Oburu Odinga as the ODM leader to pursue pre-coalition talks with the President William Ruto's United Democratic Alliance ahead of the 2027 general election. For a party that built its identity on opposition Ruto's political agenda, this was seen by many members as a complete betrayal. The faction, which carries the banner of opposition and reform, began organizing public rallies to resist the shift and to remind the country of what ODM once stood for. Edwin Sifuna, the Nairobi senator and ODM secretary general, became one of the loudest voices of the Linda Mwananchi movement. His position within the party was itself contested. He was hosted as secretary general only to be restrained by the political party's dispute tribunal, with a full hearing of the case set for February 26, 2026. Despite this legal uncertainty, Sifuna's continued organizing rallies. He formally notified the officer commanding police division in Kakamega of the planned rally and even shared the notification letter widely published back against Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen claim that security agencies had not been properly informed. The movement held its first rally in Busia on February 8, 2026, drawing a large crowd despite attempts by state-aligned actors to disrupt the event. The second rally followed in Kitengela on February 15, 2026, where the political temperature rose significantly. Police used tear gas and live ammunition during that event, resulting in one fatality and a dozen of injuries. The government, through CS Murkomen, claimed the organizers had not given a proper notice and accused them of ferrying troublemakers from Machakos to cause chaos. The opposition rejected this account entirely. As preparation for the third rally in Kakamega began on Saturday, February 21st, 2026, troubled tracks before the event even started. The Linda Mwananchi soundtrack, decorated in the movement's blue and white colors and painted with its artwork, was belted with stones by a group of youth in Riat area of Kisumu as it made its way towards Kakamega. The front windscreen was shattered. No casualties were reported, but the attack immediately raised alarm among the movement's leadership about what lay ahead. Siaya Governor James Orengo flew into Kisumu on Friday, February 20, 2026, to stand in solidarity with the movement ahead of the Kakamega rally. Speaking at a press conference in Kisumu shortly after landing, Orengo accused senior people in government of orchestrating the attack of the truck. He warned that the movement would hold the state responsible for any harm that came to supporters attending the rally. He pointed to the previous disruption in Kitengela and Busia as evidence of the deliberate pattern of intimidation. Despite this, he made it clear that no force would stop the rally in Kakamega from going ahead, describing the movement as an unstoppable wave of feeding the country. Orengo also addressed the ideological heart of the dispute. He defended the 10-point agenda and the memorandum of understanding signed between President Ruto and the late ODM leader Raila Odinga, who passed away in October 2025. He said some elements within ODM were working to discard that agenda, which he described as a blueprint for Kenya's future and a key part of Raila's legacy. Orengo made it clear that the Linda Mwananchi movement was largely made up of ODM members who refused to abandon the party's founding principles. Vihiga Senator and ODM Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Osotsi spoke at the same press conference. He drew a direct comparison between the Linda Mwananchi rally and the rival event held by the Linda ground faction at the Kakamega Golf Hotel, which proceeded without any interference. Osotsi said the two factions should be treated equally under the law and reminded those in power that Kakamega resident had stood firm against disruption in Busia and would do so again. He framed the movement's protection not in terms of security agencies but in terms of the people themselves showing up in large numbers and standing their ground. Kakamega Governor Ferdinand Barasa, despite belonging to the rival Linda Ground faction, publicly welcomed the Sifuna-led team to the county. He said ODM is a democratic organization and as long as the rally remained peaceful and free from insult, he had no objection to its proceeding. The rally was scheduled to begin in Mbale before climaxing at Amalemba grounds in Kakamega County.